Hello everyone, we're Team Wootzor. I'm Sean Sparks.
And I'm Mikey Gross.
Today we're going to be talking about a game called First and Goal by R&R Games. It's designed for 2 to 4 players and it has a suggested play time of 60 minutes. This is a game where you use cards as basically your time decks. There's a defensive deck and an offensive deck. You're playing cards out of each deck, comparing them. Then you roll the dice according to how the 2 plays match up. Those dice will either be good or bad depending on the play. So basically your cards are like calling plays in a sense. And you move up and down a field. You know, basically let me put it this way. If you have to understand football to understand this game. Because if you don't understand football, right up front, I want to tell you, you're going to have a hard time understanding this game. But if you like football, you understand football, hey, you're going to understand this game pretty easy. You know, it has timeouts and you can do all the stuff from even returning kickoffs. You know, it's hard to do, just like you don't see it much in real football. It's not very likely to happen in this game either. But every aspect of playing football is in this game, from turnovers to, you know, fake punts, fake field goals. It's all there. It covers every single thing.
Yeah.
Now, it says 60 minutes. I think probably closer to 90 is a little bit more realistic. Maybe if you got really familiar with it, you could get a little better. But, you know, the components are really cool. The board is magnetic, so when you're moving this football down and you're moving the yardage marker, it stays in place pretty nicely. You couldn't just bump the table and mess everything up. I think for a board game that's about football, and it's why I picked this up on a whim at Origins. I thought, hey, I want a football game, as I didn't have anything like that in my collection, so I'm going to try this. I think I didn't pay much for it at all. And I think for a board game about football, this probably is about as good as it's going to get. I think so. You know, probably.
Yeah.
If there's something now that annoys me about the game is there's a lot of shuffling of cards. It doesn't bother me to hand the offense. You know, when I'm on defense, when I'm done, he gets that. You swap the decks accordingly. When the cards run out, the half is over, and then you redo another half. So the game's played in halves, not really quarters. Constant shuffling, and I generally don't like that in a game where you're constantly shuffling, and I don't like it in this game. I almost feel like you could have gave the cards that was in your hand to the other person, and if you wanted to get rid of them, call a timeout. Because when you call a timeout, that allows you to discard all the cards and draw, not discard, but put them back in, shuffle, and draw 8 new cards. So I really don't see a reason why you have to shuffle every time.
Or possibly even hold on to your hand.
Yeah.
And then hand the rest of the deck over.
That's also an option. I mean, if I played this all the time, I would definitely probably change that rule just a little bit, just so it doesn't aggravate me so much. The game, like I said, is designed for 2. I think it's 2 or 4. I don't know how 3 players could work.
No, it's 2 or 4.
We talked about this. I would not want to play this with 4 people.
Absolutely not.
2 people, that's all you need. It's a 2-player game. A 4-player game, you've got 1 guy playing the offense, 1 guy playing the defense.
Ooh, pick that card. Pick that card.
Right.
Yeah.
You get the dictator guy. So, yeah, absolutely 2-player game in my opinion. That's the sweet spot for this game. Like I said, I think it covers all the ground for what I would want out of a football game. It's not my favorite game, but it does what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to give it a really good score of 7.5 out of 10. Mikey, what do you think?
Well, I think I agree with you. The football thematically, this is the best football game I've ever played. I've probably played about 5 or 6 different games, all the way back to the VCR quarterback games. And thematically, this one top notch for the base game. Apparently, we played the basic rules and the advanced rules, and there's league rules, but the advanced rules add more cards in or special abilities and have other team. I think as it stood, the game itself was perfect. It is the best football game that you could play if you like football. The board itself is pretty and very well put together. I love the magnetic facings where I could just slide the yard markers down as I was marching down the field.
Yeah.
The time clock mechanic is a very fun mechanic. you're playing card. The offense is playing cards out of their hands. They play a pass card. That's fine. They play a run card. They have to take a card off the top and discard it. Once that draw pile's done, the half's over. So that was very well done.
It's like eating the clock.
Yeah, eating the clock up a little bit. Yeah, that was a good idea. Both the offense and the defense, you had counter cards. You had a card called the Cover 2 Spy that limited all the yards for all the plays the offense could run, but they could still get a chunk of yardage, a small chunk of yardage. Just as well on the offense side, there was a few cards there that you could play that always got you a chunk of yardage. Now, there's those uncertainties in football, the freak play or the sack or the crazy stop. The dice help with that mechanic as well. The defense is always rolling 2 dice, a play die and a defense die. When they roll the defense die and it comes up an X, that means, or the play die and it comes up an X, that means the play was stopped. If they roll the defense die, it has negative numbers, which means they lose yards, and you subtract it from the yards the offense got. There was turnovers, opportunities for Hail Mary on the die on the last play of the game. It just overall, it fit. It just, the rules work together. You just always need to have, my suggestion if you're going to play this game, always have the defense roll first, because if the defense roll comes up an X, the offense doesn't even need to pick up their dice.
That's right.
If you're trying to shave time, do that.
Yep.
The game, it was fun. It was fun to play. You know, normally you get to be losing in the game and you could kind of sulk, but at this point it felt like you were just having fun because you're just trying to stop your friend.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, what's he gonna play? What's he gonna play? What's he gonna play?
How aggressive or how passive do you want to be?
Yeah. I was on every single first down in the entire game. I played pass defense, pass defense, pass defense, because I was trying to stop the way I played. Because every first down on offense, I would throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. So it's kind of get into your opponent's head, figure it out what they need to do. That's the strategy behind it. As it stands, it's a fantastic game. It's fun. It's easy to play. I'd play it again and again. I'm thinking about adding it to my own collection. It definitely gets a 7.5 out of 10.
No, we agree.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and I mean, just it has that real sense of where you're picking a play. You really feel like a coach. You know, that's what you are. You're really a coach, and you're calling the offensive and defensive plays. And these are real defensive plays, which I know you can't probably see this, but even for those who are not, and I didn't show this to you, they have all the plays sort of listed in the book. So even for those who aren't real knowledgeable about what a football play is, this little book in the back tells you, sort of like the NFL Madden games always have. Yeah, and it tells you what it does.
Oh yeah, the prevent with the okay.
Yeah, it's got, cover 3, nickel, safety blitz, inside blitz, corner blitz. Then you got the running plays, halfback dive, run pass option draw. You got bomb slants, screens. It really, it just breathes football. I mean, really, the theme is. I don't think I own any games by R&R that I can think of.
Yeah.
I might, who knows. But this one here is right on. I'm glad we both liked it equally.
This is a game I think you could take to a family reunion or a family function and get a person who doesn't play games to play with you. You get a sports person, they might sit down and play with you because it's that theme. It could bring non-gamers to the table.
Yeah, I think it brings football people to the table. If you don't like football, you're a gamer, I don't suggest this game for you because it is heavy understand football. You do have to, understand it.
Yep.
And also, it is a dice game. Although I don't think the dice is that big of a factor. There's randomness in it.
A little bit, yeah, but
but yeah.
For the most part, it's did I counter what you played?
Correct. Or did it's trying to outthink each other, which is a neat mechanic, and then the dice just kind of dictate what you do with that. And like I said, I don't know if we mentioned it, but there are turnovers, offensive and defensive penalties. It's amazing, man. I just can't. This little dice game has all these little, and it's beautiful. Whoever made this game, thank you, because this is a great football game. I love it. And with that, we'll see you next time. It blows your mind. This game blows your mind. It's like, wow, this gets every little thing in a football game.
It was fun. fun to play.